Greetings, fellow humans. You know me as Iceman Caesar, and this is what's up in the world today. This is The Voice. Yes, one of my favorite nights of TV and one of the best nights of TV is upon us once again. Voice finale. Tonight is the season finale of season 15. Another great season. Last night was the part one of the live finale. Absolutely crushed by all four finalists. I'm going to talk about that later in the episode, but man, just this is the best reality singing competition show you could possibly create. I mean, I've been a fan right from season one. Christina Aguilera is my girl, so when I knew she was involved, I was gonna give it a chance. But right off the bat, I was instantly hooked as a fan, and just kept growing and growing and growing as the episodes of first season and then the seasons went on. And they've just created a format that it's such a the format just works so well on TV that all you need is great. As long as you have great singers, it's going to continue to be a great show, and that's there's no shortage of great singers in the world. The Voice is able to search all over and bring them in. And it's nice that The Voice gives people second chances too, because sometimes it's just song choice. It's like the song choice that someone chose doesn't fit the best with their voice, or it's not the best competition song for their voice. And sometimes having another year to kind of reflect and think about things, think about trying how you can improve yourself, can really become a totally different singer. And that's what we've seen a lot of times with some of these contestants coming back and going, not only getting chair turns but going really far in the competition. So it is just one of my favorite shows on TV. I love music, I love singing, I love singing myself, so it's, and The Voice is what gets me through my ellipticals when the seasons are on. Man, I definitely miss it when the seasons when it's in between seasons, because it's just, I mean, like I say, all you need are great singers, and The Voice always finds those great singers, and season 15 was no exception. So for season 15, all four coaches were back from season 14. Adam, Blake, Jennifer, and Kelly. And these four have really good chemistry together. It was even better the second time around. And it was really just, really enjoyed throughout the season seeing the banter between the coaches and seeing them compete for contestants and between each other to try and move their teams forward. So the dynamic between the coaches was really good, which is important because it's not just a show about The Voice. I mean, obviously the main part of the show is about the singing and trying to find the greatest singer, from trying to let one person emerge from the pack as, the winner of the season. So it's but it's also about entertaining to watch the coaches together and their personalities. They're a big drawing card for the show, so they have to be able to deliver entertainment as well. And that's they always find coaches that are able to do that. There's never really been a season where I don't think the dynamic has worked between the four. But some a little bit better than others, but thought these four do a really good job together. And the format of the show is just perfect, but the blinds might be my favorite part, just because of how it's everything is completely stripped away except the voice. And it's hard. Sitting on the couch, I love yelling at the TV because as the seasons go on and you watch more, it's easier to sit on the couch and think you're a coach. But it's it's easy to be watching at home and be like, what are you guys doing? What are you listening for? Like, seeing, we're watching somebody just crush it on stage, and the coaches are just, they look close, but sometimes they don't turn. It's just like, what are you listening for? But it's just that's what makes the blinds, one of the best parts, maybe the best part of the show, because it's just about the voice. It's it's in the name of the show, and it just when you see the unique people the people from all different walks of life, and and you hear the stories about a lot of times about how their appearance and how their looks didn't give them certain opportunities or kept them from certain opportunities. For them to be able to have just put their voice on the stage and just be able to just make it just about the voice is so huge for for some people who have it's sometimes it's in your mind that they're going to judge me on my appearance, but when that's out the window, it's easier to just relax and try to give the best possible performance. But it's hard for the coaches. They're turned around, and it's at home we could see the person and we see their story first, and so we kind of get that emotional connection. And so it's but I give the coaches a lot of crap when I'm watching and they don't turn around. It's like I'm watching a football game basically. But it's not easy for them to, because they're trying to, they want their team to win. They want to find the best artist of this season if they possibly can. So and you only have so many spots for your team, so it's you're trying to listen for the best voice, and it's like sometimes you like a song so much that you almost turn for the song, and then the voice might not have been. So as a coach, you kind of think, am I just liking the song, or is this voice really really good enough to turn? So it's it's a really fun dynamic for the show, and I'm probably my favorite part, and it's probably the thing that it has allowed the show to keep going for 15 seasons and hopefully many many more beyond that, because it's just every single time it's just a very entertaining thing to watch. And it's so if you love music, if you love singing, I love music and singing, so I love seeing people get that opportunity, and it's it's a really it's kind of fun just to think that somebody's a really good singer, and it's getting laid in the performance, and you're like, come on, don't let this person. And then it's a great moment when you finally hit that button at the end, and it's like, it's one of the best parts of the show. For sure. And so this season, I think the biggest miss, and I think my biggest yell at the TV was actually for Linnea Moore, who ended up being the comeback artist, and I'll talk about that a little bit in the episode. But so it's they kind of made up for it this season with the new comeback artist. But watching it, I couldn't believe that nobody turned for Linnea. I thought that she was excuse me. I thought she deserved a chair turn for sure, and I think making her way through the comeback stage and winning it, I think she kind of proved that judges made a little bit of a mistake in not pressing their button for her. But it was an interesting, unique position that the comeback artist role put Linnea in. But we'll talk about that in a bit. And it's and the blinds are always really a mix of just not ready and song choice, like what for the people that don't make it, because sometimes an artist is right there, but they just need that little bit of fine tuning, to get to get their voice to that next level, and either be good enough to sometimes take those leaps in the bigger moments in songs to where you can really shine and you really have a moment that makes the person listening go wow, and just really connects them to the song. So but song choice, man, sometimes you hear people with a great voice and they're just really struggling to try with the song choice they chose to try and make it stand out and draw in a judge. So it's song choice is so crucial, and it's probably the biggest enemy of singers on this show. And I mean it's not just the blinds, all throughout every single step of the way. It's I see song choice mistakes, and it's just like no, you're too good of a voice to be kind of handcuffing yourself with a song choice. And it's tough too, because you're it's hard to determine whether if it's a song that you just like singing, or if it's a song that your voice really shines in, or if it's really good. There's a difference between songs you like singing and songs you should sing in a competition. Like for me, I mean, I don't I think I think I could sing. I'm not definitely not the best singer, but for me, there's certain songs that I love to sing that if I tried to do it in a competition, there would be no chance and no chance at all that I would be going anywhere. But there's other songs that where I can just perfect for my voice and I can really crush, and those are the ones that I would have to stick to if I was trying to make it in a competition. So that's the really it's song choices crush so many great singers, and it's just a battle between trying to decide if this is a song that you like singing, or if it's a song that you can actually shine with, and it's a good competition song. So it's a battle between that, and it's just I can't stress enough. Song choice, song choice, song choice is so crucial, and it's just you got to know your own voice, know what you know just know where the best version of your voice is, what tune, and go there, and go and find a song that fits there, and also you gotta give yourself a chance to shine. You need to give yourself a moment to take take a little bit of take the song to a higher place, lower place, to a up and down all over. It's just you got to have a moment. You can't just straight up kind of sing it. It's you got to choose a moment. And then you got to go for it. Sometimes you might you might fall off the cliff, but sometimes you might spread your wings and fly higher than you ever thought you could. So it's song choice, song choice, song choice, so crucial. And even this season, a lot there are a bunch of examples to where song choice knocked people off, and it's hard. And, it's hard, before getting into it, kind of that reminded me of you know I really wish that I could go through each and every singer on the show and each and every performance and talk about it, because I appreciate, and I and I love every single performance, because like I say, it gets me through the elliptical, and it's just I enjoy every single performance. I'm usually watching every single one twice just because it's so good, and I want to I can't once is definitely not enough. So it's for the singers or the performances that I don't mention or talk about, it's not because they're not good or that I didn't enjoy them. It's just there's only so much time, and it's these videos are long enough with how much I can talk, so I gotta pump the brakes on some of it. But I have so much appreciation and love for all the singers and all the performances that were on this season, and man, the battles. So blinds are probably my favorite part, but the battles are right up there, because it's such a unique a task for the singers to try and to try and do. It's you're trying to make a good duet, but you're also trying to shine and stand out so that you can move forward in the competition. But you can't overdo it, and you can't overstep your bounds, where you have your certain parts and you have your times, and you have to stick to that. You can't be taking over the other person in the songs. But that's not it's not fair. That's not right. So it's a very very tough unique part of the show. So it's and they're relying, but it always, one of the best things that comes out of it are the duets and the songs. It's like sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's a little bit of a clash, but man, so many times we get just great renditions of these songs, and it's there's been so many over the years, and that's in the that's the thing. If these singers don't crush the battle part of the song competition, if these duets, if these songs don't also stand out as good duets, not only are they good for helping somebody move forward, but it has to be a good song as well. So it's just it's such a unique part of the show. I just love it, and there was some fierce battles. During the season this year. This is probably the part of the show that it's the toughest for me to kind of pick the winner or pick the person I think should be moving forward, because it's like unless somebody really went for something and missed it, it's like it's just tough to kind of differentiate who stood out, and who was a little bit underneath. So it's and you can see that sometimes in the coaches' decisions where they're just like, I have no idea what to do, and I think a lot of times they make some mistakes in pairing singers together, and I think that's why sometimes they don't move forward in the competition because, for me, if I was a coach, I would try to stick to, I would really, I'd put my best singer against my I hate saying weakest, but like I would put number one versus number 10, number 12, or whatever, however many. I forget how big the teams are when they after the blinds, but I would make that. But I would also, if number 12 outshined number one in the battle, then despite this person being better singer, maybe on paper, to me, I would really stick to your best. If you perform best, if you perform best on that night, you have to move forward. And so, but I mean, so a lot of times they pair people together because, I have, you're both in the same genre, so I only want one. It's like, why? Like, if you have a great singer, you have a great singer. So to me, I think sometimes coaches make a mistake in their pairings for the battles, it's always interesting once the teams are formed to see, who is going to go up against each other in the battles. So it's it's just the blinds are unique, the battles are unique, and then obviously the knockouts are a little bit more in line with other reality competitions. But first two rounds being as great, as entertaining and unique as they are, more than enough to fuel this show and the entertainment of this show. That's part of the big reason why we've got 15 seasons and hopefully many more. But the knockouts coming right after the battles are just perfect because the battles where you're working with somebody you're competing with to make a great song as well as trying to move forward. But now it's all about you. Now it's you can really you're not in a duet. You're not you're not sharing a song with somebody you're competing. It's like this is your moment, time to shine. So it's and I'm pretty sure I think the knockouts are where they let the singer choose the song, and this is where song choice kills a lot of people's runs on the show because it's like I say, so you can tell 99% of the time when the song choice crushes them, it's because it's a song that they like singing and it's just not quite fit for reality, for a singing competition because it doesn't give them doesn't give their voice the time to shine throughout the song, or there's not a moment to really stand out and go for it. So, excuse me. That's why song choice is so crucial, but the knockouts is really, and it's really, I always feel so bad because it's such a tough run to get through the blinds and then get through the battles and then get to the knockouts until to kind of lose it on song choice is just like, oh man. Sometimes you can see it in the coaches, like, really, we're singing that? It's like, all right. So you got to knock this out of the park. But they can. Sometimes you can see in the coaches. In their reaction that what an uphill battle the singer has for that particular song. So song choice so crucial. Dave, but on this season on the knockouts, Dave Fenley really stood out to me. Stuck on You was the song he did. It was like that. He really vaulted himself towards the front of the pack with that performance. I just thought it was incredible and really showcased just how unique and how great his voice was. And because you knew he already had that with seeing him in the blinds and the battles, but the knockouts I felt was where he really kind of just broke out and showed everyone what he could do. But man, how ridiculously blessed was this crew being able to work with Mariah Carey, like, and I mean even in the battles, like all the advisors that they had, I mean, like, just unbelievable the access to the knowledge and experience that they get on this show. And I really appreciate the advisors coming in, and obviously I forgot to write them down, but I forgot. I appreciate them coming in and giving their time to the show, and it's I'm not. Everybody comes on and obviously on their best behavior, putting on their best face. But I appreciate that they at least are trying to really just give these singers some good advice and actually give them advice that can help them become better singers, not only on the show but as they move forward afterwards. So, but I mean, Mariah Carey, it's like, and I thought it was, it's funny for some of the really younger contestants. It's like they had great reactions, but it's like can't appreciate Mariah Carey as well as some of the older contestants. It's like, man, that would have just, and you could tell with some of the some of the the contestants that were that grown up with Mariah Carey's music. It's just like, man, that would be, and like, I mean, it would have been the same reaction for me, man. Coming around the corner and seeing Mariah Carey, getting to work with her would have just been, wow. That's Mariah Carey is one of the queen divas of the music industry, so it was just nice to see her being just very very humble and just a very, she just seemed really actually interested with working with the artists and trying to, and she was excuse me. Hopefully this is not her only season as advisor, because she seemed like a little bit almost like she was holding back a little. She didn't want to push too forward and be kind of put herself out there too much. She seemed like a little bit holding back a little. So either hopefully she's back again as an advisor, or maybe even as a coach if they can work that out. So it's I've always been big fan of Mariah Carey. Her music is incredible. She's one of the greatest voices in the history of the world. So it's I was very happy to see her on the show working with The Voice, and seeing how well that she worked with the singers, and it was just a nice surprise to to see that Mariah Carey was going to be the advisor for the knockout. And once I heard that, I was very anticipating seeing the reactions from some of the singers as they came along, and definitely did not disappoint. And and like I said before, it's hard to. I wish I had time to break down and talk about every single performance and every single singer, but it's just fortunately not that kind of time. But like I say, this show gets me through my elliptical when it's on, so I appreciate every single one, and it's I really hope that one day, excuse me, they're able to work out something to get the show on a streaming service, so that for the rest of my life I can be going back and reliving The Voice. And that's why this show is so great, and why it's a crime that it's not out there on demand, so that people can watch every season as much as they want, because that music doesn't ever get old. It's like those great performances that we loved in those seasons, we can go back, and it's not like you're gonna, I mean, music is I don't know. I was gonna say music doesn't get old, but like, obviously you listen to a song over and over again, it can get old. But it's like those live performances, and like if once you go back to them, it's like most times that energy doesn't go away. So it's I think I just wish there's lots of performances I wish I could go back and see that I can remember, and there's way more that I don't remember. I wish that I could go back and watch and appreciate again. And it's just, but that goes into how just the copyrights and rights for music is just a ridiculous jungle of greed and evil, and just it is bad. But there is a best version of that, to find the right compensation for everyone, so that people can use music and it doesn't have to break the entire budget or whatever. But not gonna get into that. Talked about that a lot during the last season 14 of the Voice finale in that episode. So not gonna talk about that much today. But and so before talking about breaking down the teams, this was the first. We'll talk about the comeback stage part of it. This is the first season that they tried that, and kind of mixed feelings on it. It was it was definitely a cool concept, and it allowed a legitimate talent like Linnea Moore to remain on the show. So it was, but for the other contestants who had to grind their way through all the other rounds. It's definitely. Definitely could see why it would stick in your craw to see somebody kind of go around all of that and end up at the live shows. So but at the same time it's like all of them would have, if they didn't get a chair turn, would have wanted to be Linnea Moore's position, and they would have absolutely taken that opportunity to be the comeback artist. So. And if Linnea was on the other side, then she would be the same thing. So it was definitely a tough position for the comeback artist to be in, and you could see it in Linnea because she was trying to be excited to be on the show and want to move forward, but at the same time not knowing that she kind of went around the parts of the show the the battles and the knockouts. So it's she definitely knew how empathize with how the other singers were feeling, but it just made for an interesting dynamic. Like that's why I say mixed feelings. I thought it was a cool concept, but at the same time, it's like kind of is tough for the other people that grinded their way through the other parts of it to to see somebody kind of end up on the live shows and going around that. But it was a cool concept, and like I say, it allowed a legitimate talent like Linnea Moore to remain on the show. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep it in the show going forward, or if it's just going to be a one season thing. So let's go on to the teams, and each team was just ridiculously strong as always, and man, trying to cut these teams down to three each going into the live shows. It's just like when you see these teams of 6, it's like, man, how are they gonna get this down to 3? And like it's pretty much my thoughts every single season, and it wasn't didn't change this season. I was just looking at these teams going, how are they gonna do this? But they had no choice, and so start with Team Blake. Team Blake ended up all male, 3 dudes, Dave Fenley, Chris Cruzy, and Kirk J. And 2 of those guys were in the finals, so obviously one of the strongest teams that Blake's ever had. And it was once it got down to 3, I had a really tough time with kind of trying to figure out who the front runner would be once it got broken down into 3, because I believe that we'll talk about it more, but I thought that one of them did emerge as kind of the front runner, not only with Blake's team but for the show. But initially when he carved it down to 3, I had a tough time trying to figure out who was going to be the kind of one to emerge from the pack. And one thing I knew is that Dave Fenley was going to need song choice, was going to be more crucial for him than any of the other 2 on the team, because of his unique voice. I thought he was really going to have to find song choices that enabled him to I thought that it just had to fit his voice. And so it was that was one thing I was really looking forward to see if the song choice would be able to keep up to keep Dave moving forward on the show. And then we had Team Kelly, which ended up Sarah Grace, Chevelle Shepherd, and Kimberly Joy. And Kelly Clarkson is really she's been a great coach on the show, and but really surprised her. Her fan base is very loyal and very they make noise for her and for her singers. So she's a very, very formidable coach on this show, and and she won last year, and now the second year she's got another singer in the finals, Chevelle. So but man, seeing these 3, I just had no idea who was going to be able to emerge as the front runner, and but I remember Chevelle's grandpa tell me about the good old days. That really stood out as a great performance. But still, despite that, all 3 had great performances at some point through during the process of the show, and it was just each time they're singing, you're thinking, okay, they're probably gonna be the one that emerges, but then another one comes and it's just like you're the same thing. You're like, okay, now they're probably gonna be. So, just Kelly put together a really great team that gave us some really awesome performances from the season. Then moving on to Team Adam. Team Adam ended up DeAndre Nico, Tyke James, and Reagan Strange. And this was Adam's teams are always very all over the map. You never and because he's a coach that really carves down his genres. If he's got two artists in the same genre, a lot of the time he's pairing those two together to try and have only one emerge. And that's why his teams are always so all over the map. And like DeAndre, Tyke, and Reagan. It's like I think that's as all over the map it can get, but all over the map as it gets. But all three are great singers, and Reagan's so young, still has so much to build on her voice, but it's but going in, I kind of thought that Reagan and DeAndre were kind of fighting for the front runners with Tyke, right there. It's just I kind of thought Tyke struggled with song choice through the show. It's his because you could tell he was just frustrating because you could tell he's got that great voice ready to break through, but I just thought his song choice was a little bit just a little bit underneath where it needed to be, and I kind of thought that really stunted his run on the show, but. But going in, I thought this was a really interesting team to watch because with them being so over the map, it's like no clue which one would be able to, kind of step forward and take the lead. But if I had to choose, I kind of figured it'd be between DeAndre and Reagan. And then finally, Team Jennifer ended up Mackenzie Thomas, Sandy Red, and Kennedy Holmes. And man, like. I mean, after being shut out of the finals last season, Jennifer was clearly not going to be denied this season. She was ready to find that singer that was going to bring her to the finals, and she found three that could potentially get her there, and it was and this team I was just like, how is only one of these singers going to be able to move forward? Like it was. Jennifer really did a great job in finding a great team, and I wanted to give a shout out to Frank West on Jennifer's team. I thought he had some really great performances throughout the season, and kind of thought he had a good chance of making the live shows, but just you see. Yeah, that's what I mean. When you see some of these, when I saw like Jennifer's team saw all six, I was like, how is she getting this down to three, man? It's just unbelievably tough. And then that last one, you finally have to, when the coach finally has to pick one, or pick the person to move on, and the other two or the other three have to go. It's just like, jeez, man, that is just, oh man, that would be the most brutal part of the show if you were a coach, no doubt about it. Then Linnea Moore ended up choosing Team Kelly because obviously Linnea Moore was the comeback artist, and they got to go on to a team. So Team Kelly went in with 4 singers into the live shows, and it's Kelly's team already ridiculously strong. Then she adds a legitimately great voice in Linnea's. So I was interested to see how she was gonna do, if she was gonna be able to move forward, not being on the show during the battles and the knockouts, not making the connection with the audience, through those episodes. However, the audience is the ones that were, the coaches on the comeback stage moving her forward. So it's, so they had that connection there. I was really interested to see how she would do with the voting and things like that. So let's get into gonna break down the top 13. I'm just gonna go talk about each contestant as they were. I'm gonna just list it as they were eliminated. So yeah, I'm just gonna start as start at the top with the 13th, and then kind of go down all the way to the finalists. So starting at 13, Sandy Red. Man, I thought she had a really good run on the show with her performances, and I definitely did not expect her to be, one of the first in the eliminations. So when I saw that, I was really shocked. And but it's I would have been without how talented this show is and how talented the top 13 were. I would have been shocked at anybody being in the bottom, anybody in the first elimination. But Sandy Red in particular, I thought was just like, wow. I did not expect to see her in the first eliminations. But it's not. I mean, it's somebody has. I mean, this is a show that's trying to determine one singer. So I don't like. Being eliminated doesn't mean you had a bad performance or that you didn't do a good job. It just means that the way you just happened not to get enough votes. I mean, that's for whatever reason, it's just enough votes didn't come in for you. But it's so. I mean, obviously in the moment, in their worst. In the worst moments for the singers, they'd be beating themselves up, thinking, I didn't have good performances, or I didn't. But I just really hope that singers are able to fight through that and don't walk away thinking that, because Sandy Red is one of the first eliminations, and she was one of the best contestants on the show. Like, she had some of the best performances throughout the whole season. So it's it's just the luck of almost the luck of the draw, basically. So it's and obviously it's voting, and I mean people are but it's just. It's and sometimes it's where you sing in the show. If you sing right after a great performance, then it's going to be tougher for you to get votes and stand out. If there've been a few if you're singing an up tempo song and there's been a bunch in a row, maybe it's not going to hit as well as it would. Whereas if there's been a few ballads and all of a sudden you come through and you kick the energy up and everyone's feeling good, and then you get a lot of votes. So a lot of things depend on moving forward with the votes. So I really just want to establish that being eliminated doesn't mean that you sang bad or you didn't do a good job. Just means just for whatever reason things were not meant to go that way for you. So, and I mean a lot of times I'm sure it's God's plan saying it's better for you to carve your own path and then to than to do it as the winner of the show. So I mean it's everyone just obviously be connected to God and Jesus, and you'll be able to follow God's path. And when things like being eliminated on a show happen, you can find the best out of that, and find the good in it and turn that into a good situation. And sometimes it might be the best thing for you. So I just wanted to establish eliminations doesn't mean bad performances. And Sandy Red being one of the first eliminations, I really felt like I had to put that out there. But I'm looking forward to her original music. I really think her style is along the lines of, if you saw Creed 2 or Creed, any of the Creed movies, Adonis Creed's his girlfriend and wife in the movies, Bianca, like her type of music. I really feel like Sandy Red's kind of in that genre and that style. So I'm looking forward to her original music, even if it's not that. It's just whatever she's gonna come out with, I'm looking forward to. And it's I love, that's why it's a great thing for things like Spotify, so that it's much easier to keep track of artists beyond the voice and get their songs. It's like I haven't gone in and looked yet, but I'm hopefully somebody's gone out and created a kind of a way to collect all the work from the Voice alumni, that all the original music that everybody's put out, that so that we can have access to it and discover it and get a chance to listen to it all, because it's there's so many mediums out there, like physical and digital. It's tough to get everything, and tough to experience everything. So it's I got to check that out. But hopefully hopefully I know there are things to track, voice seasons and performances and stuff like that. So the bigger things like Spotify get, hopefully if we can have a streaming service to watch The Voice, hopefully we can at least have music streaming services where we can listen to these great performances and then keep following the artists and experience their original music as they move forward. And definitely looking forward to that from all contestants, but Sandy Red for sure. And then the 12th, number 12, the next elimination, number 12, Tyke James, and him. Yeah, for me it was just song choice with him. I thought he thought he made a mistake singing one of the greatest love songs of all time. Dedicated to his mom. But I mean it's obviously he's at a very his mom is very important to him. She's done done a lot for him and made enabled him to have the opportunities like being able to be on The Voice, and so obviously he's coming from a great place. It's just everything I do it for you is one of the greatest love songs of all time, maybe the greatest. So it's like it's just I think there was, if he had sang Boys to Men Mama instead, I don't think he's in the bottom. I don't think he's in the first elimination. I think he's moving forward. I just think that I just think it was just just didn't really match, and so that's kind of what I don't, it's a little bit harder for people to connect to his performance in that way. But it's obvious. I mean, it's just, it was just, to me, his whole run was his song choice was just underneath where it would need to be. But hopefully he's able to kind of look at his run on the show and see maybe that song choice was the thing that kind of led to his leaving the show early, because I definitely thought he left too early. But he just needs to find his voice and then go with the song choices that are really going to help grow his voice and give him chances to shine, because he's got a great voice, and he still did a great job. He did a great job with Everything I Do It For You. It was just created just made it tough to connect, with dedicating it to his mom. But it was, coming from a great place, and it was just, it's just, so it was just one of those frustrating, frustrating cases where song choices took down a great singer. So, looking forward to seeing what kind of original stuff Tyke is able to put out there. And so next we have the number 11, Linnea Moore. She was eliminated on the. She made it through the first eliminations. It was the second elimination show, where she finally eliminated. So I mean, I think that was a great run for the first comeback artist. Especially because you could see the awkwardness right as soon as she got on to Team Kelly. It was like. The other contestants were trying not to be like screw you, but at the same time you could see they were just like, I had to grind, and now, but she had just great performances, and fought through a very, making it through that first elimination show was very, very tough, and not easy to do. So big cheers and hats off to her. She just did wasn't easy, but she did a really great job with that opportunity. And I mean, she didn't. It was. It's like you can't blame her. I mean, she didn't create the comeback stage. She didn't create this opportunity. She just seized it. Excuse me. And ran with it. So. And it was. You can tell that she's a good person, because she wasn't. Excuse me. You could see she did empathize with the other contestants. How they would be feeling. If the roles were reversed. So it was a tough situation, but I was glad to see her shine in it. And it was she had a great run, and I think she's got star power written all over her. I think as long as she has a good a good team that gives her good beats and good lyrics to work with, and just as long as she's got a good team around her, I think she's got star power written all over her. And it's. She's she's built. I'm sure she's built a lot of strength in battling through the comeback stage and everything that goes with that. So it's she had a great run. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if she can turn that into a big career. And number 10 was Dave Fenley. And it's he is, no matter if he's on the show or not, he is, introduced everyone to his unique, incredible voice. And he just needs this. If he with the right song, man, was one of the best, and he can be the best performance in the room on any night. It's I just thought his song choice fell off after the knockouts. It was, I thought that, I thought he really stood out and vaulted himself to the front of the pack after the knockouts. But I thought that in the weeks after, he was still had great performances. I just did not think they were the right song choices for his voice and to make him really stand out and move forward in the competition, because it's you just, for such a unique voice like that, I mean, in a competition, you really need the right songs. I mean, it's different. It's different when you're not in a competition and you're just in a concert, because then you're just a completely different dynamic. And that's why I am really excited to hear what Dave Fenley's going to be able to bring to us with his original music, because it's he's in looking up, I guess this is not his only reality show. He was on America's Got Talent too as well. So he's a veteran now. He's on the map. He's definitely on the map now with voice viewers, me for sure. So I'm really hoping that he can kind of craft together an album that is just song after song of ones that's just melodies and tunes that suit his voice and that really allow him to stand out. Because I thought he had maybe the best performance of the knockouts. I thought it made him stand out, but just kind of thought his song choice fell off towards after the knockout. So I wasn't totally surprised to see him be eliminated, but I'm not worried about him at all. I'm really excited to hear his original music. And number 9 was DeAndre Nico. And it's every year someone kind of unfortunately has to go live through the Instant Save performances week to week. And DeAndre Nico, this time that was he was in that role, but for me, I thought his instant save performances were his best. I think. I mean, especially the last one. It's just, I mean, I thought like his instant save performances. Both of them, but the last one to me was just like, wow. I just. I mean, he's got such a great voice, but he kind of fell in the same thing as Tyke, creating a dynamic that didn't make it easy to connect to, like singing a worship song to his girlfriend. I mean, I get where he's coming from a great place, but like I say, it was just created a dynamic that made the performance tough to connect to, but. It's the same thing. If he's able to put a good team around him, we should be hearing great things, because he's got such a great voice. And, he's pre-proved. For me, saying that his best performances were in the instant saves, it's like when the pressure is on, he can deliver. So it's... but that'll be interesting, because it's in the studio it's not going to be as much of a pressure situation. So he's got to can he find that great voice without the pressure, or does he need to kind of put himself into situations where he's got that almost artificially creating the pressure. So I don't know. I'm really a broken record here, but I'm excited for everybody's original music. But DeAndre, I hope he's able to put a good team around him, and so he gets the best version of everybody that's working with him around him. Best. Nobody's holding back beats for other artists or other lyrics, or like if they're working with him, and they're trying to make the best version of of his music. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do with his experience on the show. Number 8, Sarah Grace. And okay, like Sarah Grace, she for me might be the most outstanding performance of the season. Like her absolutely incredible inversion of Amazing Grace in the style of House of the Rising Sun. Oh my God, man! Like that might be the best performance of the season. I was just wow. I mean, and it was not only that I was blown away. Not only did she think of that idea to do the song like that, but she absolutely crushed it. I mean, I was unbelievable. It was like when you're watching the preview part of it and you're kind of seeing the song come together in the idea, it's like, what, she's doing what? And then I probably watched that 4 or 5 times on the elliptical. Like, that was unbelievable. Just an incredible job, and that's why I watch this show. That's why I love this show. That's why this show is the best. That's why this show has had 15 seasons, and it's gonna have many more. It's because it's performances like that, and having the freedom to take a song like Amazing Grace, and do it in the style of House of the Rising Sun, but not ruin the dynamic of the Amazing Grace. It was almost like, like Amazing Grace in its original form is like it's almost angelic, it's almost like a, but this version was like in the down and dirty, it was almost like a Johnny Cash. I bet you would have just loved this version. I mean, I think that it made me so excited, and it just I thought, wow, like, I mean, she's 16 years old. Like, to think of that at that age and to crush it like that is just, I cannot say enough great things about her and that performance. And but I think her big mistake on the show was not sticking with that style, like that really, that folksy, that folk rocksy, that just I don't know, like, what if she created something like, that just like that funk rock and roll, like folk, like with a folk spin type. Oh man, I don't know how to describe it, but I thought that her big mistake was going away from that, because I know I was disappointed when she started a performance the next week to hear that the next song was such a complete contrast and so completely different to that Amazing Grace in the House of the Rising Sun style. So I thought she made a mistake in not kind of sticking with that genre at least another week or two, because she did such an amazing job with that. Maybe I don't necessarily mean like taking a song and and taking another song and reworking it to another version. And she could have taken a song, she could have done House of the Rising Sun. I mean, it was just something in that kind of style and tune. I thought was what she should have stuck to. So I kind of thought that was what led to her elimination. But I mean, I can't wait, all caps, exclamation points, I can't wait for her original music, because, I mean, if she was able to do that with Amazing Grace, I mean, I can't even fathom what she could do with, original music and other songs like that. And especially now with the exposure and experience of The Voice, hopefully she can bring in other talent and other minds that can help her create this type of style and music. I was such a that performance, one of my favorite performances of all time, of all 15 seasons. So amazing job by Sarah Grace, and I'm very excited to get original music from her. And number 7, Kimberly Joy. And I had her as a potential finalist, which shows how tough this competition is, and this show really is. It's her performances of worship songs were just absolutely incredible, so amazing, and it was just I mean, her, the way it was just such a joy to watch and experience. And with her amazing voice, she can go in any lane she wants, but we can't have enough great voices singing worship songs, and we can't have enough voices singing praise to the Lord, giving praise to Jesus. So hopefully she definitely devotes at least a good chunk of her time to singing worship songs, because she heard the energy she's able to put out there, and the amazing performances because of her big great voice is just, I'm a huge fan, and I just I thought she might be able to make the finals with her performances, but this show is just a murderer's row of singers every single season. So it's but like I say, it doesn't just because you don't advance doesn't mean you didn't have a great performance or you're not a great singer, and that's exclamation points on that for Kimberly Joy. So I am really looking forward to seeing what her her future is in music. And I mean, she it doesn't have to be all worship. Like I say, she can be in any lane she wants, but I really hope that she gives us a good chunk of worship music, because she was just incredible throughout the whole season. And number 6, Mackenzie Thomas. Speaking of incredible the whole season, and this is a great example of somebody coming back. Didn't get a chair turn in a previous season, comes back and emerges as one of the best voices on the show one of the seasons. So, every time somebody comes back like this, it's just more inspiration for those that didn't get a chair turn to, excuse me, to not give up, work on your craft, keep trying, keep moving forward, and really work to learn to understand your voice, understand where the best version of your voice is, what songs are that you can bring out the best version of your voice, and really, I don't want to say stick to that, but really get good at that. Get really good at crushing the songs you're great at, and then definitely challenge yourself, because that's how you grow your voice and get better. But always make sure you go back to those songs that you crush, and and just own those songs as much as you can, because in times to where you need to compete, or you need to have that one song in that one pressure cooker situation, you have your your arsenal ready to go. So but Mackenzie Thomas, just, and not only did she come back to the show and sing great, but we could have another diva on the music scene here, because with that great voice and her great personality, and it's just, and the way she kept just crushing these big voice songs from all these music divas in the industry. So the way she was able to do that, the biggest and brightest things could be ahead for her. I really hope that some of these music divas recognize what Mackenzie, the talent she has, and what she could possibly bring to the music scene, and I'll work with her beyond the show. It's one thing to find your own way and to find your own footing and to work, but it's the more advice you can get, and the more tools that you can possibly put in your tool belt, the better. And these women that have gone through the music industry, and have had all this experience, put out all this great music, that information can be so valuable to young singers, to helping them to get on that level, because we don't want, I love music and singing so much. I always want to have that that warrior class of singers where you just know it's Christina Aguilera and Beyonce and Jennifer Hudson, and it's just it's there is you gotta work, it's, and it's different. The society and life is not the same as it was when these divas were coming up. So you can't, the same ways that they built and crafted their voices is not the same way other singers can do it. So it's like the more that we can work together and help each other, the better voices and the better singers. And Mackenzie Thomas is one that just so much potential, and she just did such a great job coming back to the show after not getting a chair turn and crushing big voice songs. It's just I think that the biggest and brightest things ahead for Mackenzie. And number 5, the last elimination, I guess, before the finale shows, Reagan Strange, and obviously you could tell she wasn't at her best the last week of the show. With whatever knocked her out of being able to sing or be on the elimination show the couple weeks ago. Obviously she wasn't 100% of herself, but even still, she had a great performance and almost put herself in the finale. So it was she's still so young too. Some of these kids are so young, yet their voices are so way ahead of their age. It's just unbelievable. But a bright future for Reagan. She's got she got a great name for music, the Reagan Strange, and she, great name for her fans. The fans love that, Strangers or whatever. So she's got bright future. It's just I thought it was when on the elimination, when DeAndre went home and Reagan moved on, she wasn't able to sing to stay on the show. And I thought it was, props to DeAndre for, it could have been really easy for him to be bitter at at Adam, and I could have just imagined, because Adam was basically like, I I gotta say, vote for Reagan. I know where Adam was coming from. It's a tough situation for Reagan to be in, not being able to perform, and this being her big chance on the on a reality singing competition, and so it's like I know that he was trying to just not not let her fall. Trying to cushion the blow that she was already receiving, not being able to, be on the show. So, I know where Adam was coming from. It was a tough place to be in for him. It's obviously he wants to support everybody on his team and DeAndre, but and in that moment it was like, it was tough. It would have been tough to say, vote for each one, for me, I would really like to see DeAndre move forward, even though I felt bad for Reagan and I'm a fan of her. It's just, DeAndre was able to sing and, she didn't, it was the voice. And I know that's kind of cold, but it's like, it's a singing show. It's a competition. And, once you get out there, it's not show friends, it's show business. So, it was a tough one. And props to DeAndre. I got a good laugh thinking of the over the top ways he could have been like, yeah, you know what, Adam, you. I thought that was funny, but props to everybody. Went down probably the best way it could have, and it was tough for everyone, tough for Reagan and DeAndre and Adam. So and it's that's what. So it comes with with having a team that's all over the map. It's like anything can happen, and it's always tough to see coaches get shut out of the finale, because it's just kind of like, well, what do I do now? But Adam's a great coach. He always puts together a great team, and it's just like I say, it's it's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you're the way you're slotted in the performances just doesn't allow you to get the votes. And Reagan couldn't perform, obviously wasn't at 100%. So it's just one of those tough seasons for Team Adam. But bright future for Reagan and the whole team and contestants. But bringing us to the Final Four, and they all four performed last night on the first part of the live shows. Like I say, all four crushed it. And so let's get into who they are. First one from Team Blake, Chris Cruzy. And man, this guy is one of the dual threats that comes onto the show of being a great voice and just being absolutely disgusting on the guitar. It's the long train running, man. Like, woo-wee! Like that. I can't help but be so envious. And that green monster of jealousy, man. I just wish so bad that I could play the guitar. I would guitar pick all day, man. I would just sit there and I would not be able to get enough of that. And just the way that, and in the middle of that song, like, it must be such an energy rush, and you just must feel like you're on top of a mountain when you got that guitar in your hand and the band's playing and the fans are going nuts, and you can just sit there and like, oh man. That just, what a rush, man. That's why I love when those dual threats come on the show and just crush these songs that give them a chance to give their voices a chance to shine, but also let them do a little bit of guitar. I really wish we could have saw the rehearsal where he just went off at the end and didn't even start singing again. He just kept going with the guitar. I thought that was hilarious. Blake's like, okay, that was great, but you got to sing, dude. I know, man. I just got carried away. I wish they would have showed that, because that was like, I just can't. I could listen to that all day, every day, and I wish more than anything that I could do it. So that's why I always got major respect for guitar players that can play like that. But and then on the finale last night, just crushed Sweet Home Alabama, and it's a I don't know if I would have, even though he crushed it, I don't know if I would have had that be the song that he did, because that's a song that you can, I don't know, to me that's a song you can only sing so well, and I don't know, I just he crushed it. But I think that with all the with the Murderers Row of a show and then the finale, it's like I don't know. I'm not. I mean, it was he crushed it, but just for me, I kind of think you can only sing that song well enough. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to turn that into the victory on the show. But I mean, he's definitely not going to be. I mean, either way, he's going to be good to go as far as his career is. And he just has to find a way to use both of his weapons to their full extent on his original music. Give as much opportunities, to absolutely destroy that guitar, but don't forget the great voice that he has, and with him being that dual threat, he just has. It gives him an advantage over a lot of either guitar players that only do that well and their singing is down, or their singing is up and their guitar playing is down. So he's got both at a high level, and he's a dual threat. So I'm really looking forward to his original music. And I mean, his first original song that he put out, a great start for him. So it's I'm looking forward to him. But even if he doesn't win, he's going to be just fine. But absolutely has the talent and put the performances in to win. So it's it's anybody's ball game at this point. Second finalist from Team Kelly, Chevelle Shepherd, and she was the one that was able to emerge, and I just definitely thought that she had a chance, but I was with Mackenzie's big voice performances, I thought that she might be the one that hits the finale. So a big that shows you how great of a voice Chevelle has and how talented she is. And like another one that's her voice is so far beyond her age, it's just insane. It's insane, and she will definitely not have any trouble with her original music, especially with that voice that she has. But because she can sing anything, any genre, she's good to go. But country seems to be where she should probably start out, because it's seems like that's her strongest lane, and with the probably the thing that suits her voice the best right now. But she is just that original song that she had was you could pick. It's almost like it was on the radio. It was. I don't think she's going to have any trouble finding footing with her career, and I think she's definitely one of the front runners to be waiting at the end with the final two, waiting for Carson to call her name. So. But man, like her, I thought the song that she did, the duet with her and Kelly, was just absolutely incredible. I mean, those two did not hold back at all. And I mean, Chevelle went for it, Kelly went for it, and that was just, I loved it. I think I watched it 3 or 4 times. It was just, that was such a great fun performance. So it was. That's another reason why I love this show. I mean, you get the performances from the contestant, then they get to work with their coach, and then they get an original song. So it's just the best. I think this is the best version of a singing competition, for sure. And it's Chevelle just. Yeah, I mean, on finale night, you gotta step up to the plate and knock it out of the park. And she absolutely did that last night. Number 3, third finalist from Team Blake, the other one, Kirk J. And man, normally I can't pick a winner going in, or I can't pick a front runner. But this year, I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick a front runner and pick somebody I think is gonna be the winner, and that is this man, Kirk J. Because the voice that he has, and the fact that he's country till he dies, and he's been singing country, and you can tell because he is just flawless in singing. And not only does he sing country, but he sings big voice country like Rascal Flatts. Not easy to sing, especially in the key that they do it. But because of who he is, he's got the ability to hit those notes and to go there, and not only does he hit those notes, but he adds in his own little bit of the twist into it and a style to it, and it's just incredible. And he is just an unbelievable singer, and I think his performances, man, just crush. And you can tell he's not country till he dies is not just a catchphrase, not just something he's throwing out there. Like, you can tell he's been singing country with just how he's with how good that he navigates these songs with his voice. So it's and you know, and I swear, like, I mean, I gotta that this is one. I swear is one of my all-time favorite songs. But it has been covered to death, man. It's been covered by everybody. It has been crushed by everybody. It's been, I mean, country versions, pop versions. I mean, All for One, probably my favorite version. I mean, one of the most. It's a legendary song. But he's still absolutely, I mean, crushed it out of the park, man. Like he put that on your album, Kurt J. Do a version of I Swear, put it on your version on your album. Everybody does that. Everybody covers it. So I mean, it can't be the rights to it can't be that expensive, man. Put that on your album, do a version of that, and really work on it and really create it. Just really make it as big as possible because it's one of my favorite songs, one of the best songs, but he made it his own and he just really made it stand out. And to me, that was where I kind of knew that, okay, this guy is really special. I think he might be able to take a step forward as the front runner. And with how he kept crushing the songs week after week, it's just like, I just couldn't, I couldn't deny it, man. He is just an amazing voice. And it is going to be an absolute pleasure to watch him go through his career because I mean he loves country. I love country music, and with his way to put a unique kind of spin on these songs, but still go after the big voice country songs. We're gonna get some amazing music. I know I am. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I know it's a guarantee. And his. I loved I loved his duet with Blake last night. I mean, with one of the best country singers in the world, I mean, he's able to steal the show in a performance. So that shows you how great of a singer he is. And his original song is Money too. But, I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. I think that he is going to, when he's able to actually work with this stuff and, kind of sit down with a team. And I mean, that's everything. Every single person, the team you put around you is most important. Like you got to make sure you don't have people blowing smoke up your ass because there are going to be so many smoke blowers. It is insane, and it's like, and I mean, you have to put talented people. You're going to have to be mean about it sometimes. You're going to have to, and sometimes you're going to have to work with people maybe that you don't like, but you respect because they're talented, and it's like, okay, I don't like you, but I'm going to work with you because I respect you and I know you're good. And that doesn't mean that it's like a bad person or like a scumbag or something. It just means it might be someone like that your personality clashes with, that you're or that's an asshole or something. But it's your team around you is important. The band that you put together is important. Like I mean, having a chemistry and a camaraderie is important. So, it's your team you put around you is really important. And but with Kirk's amazing voice, I think he's going to attract a lot of talent and I think he's going to attract a great team around him, and I'm so excited to see what kind of music that he brings to us with his career. And I'm really excited to see for tonight if I'm right in that he is able to, if he's able to be the winner. I think that if I going out on a limb to pick, I'm thinking the final two are going to be Kirk and Chevelle, but we'll see how it shakes down. But the fourth and final finalist, who is definitely not going to make it easy for Kirk, Chevelle, or Chris to end up in the final two and win it. Kennedy Holmes from Team Jennifer, and really I thought that Mackenzie was going to be the one that moved forward, but Kennedy had great performances of her own throughout the season, and she was able to kick up the energy in some of her performances, and that is a huge thing, and that being able to not only pick the right times to do that, but do a great job in the performances is it's what you got to do, and that's why you move forward, and that's how you win. So it's and it's just it is just insane how she's got a voice like that at 14 years old, man. I mean, it's you couldn't tell that by listening to her voice. It's just another one that her voice is way beyond her age, and it's just I'm just some of the greatest voices started really young, so it's like sometimes I get worried that maybe they're pushing their voices too hard or straining their voices too hard too young when their voices are still growing and still building, and maybe that's stunting or lowering the ceiling for their voice. But I mean, Christina Aguilera, and I mean, she started very young, and so a lot of these great singers started young. So maybe that's not a factor, but it's so crazy how young some of these singers are and how amazing that they're able to sing. I thought her original song was competing with Chevelle's for Best of the Night. Thought it was absolutely perfect vibe for and perfect energy for her and what the kind of artist she seems to be right now, and the kind of music. I mean, she 14 teenager. I mean, she's got supposed to be the most exciting, brightest time of your lives. So I mean, it's to have that kind of a more up tempo, fun style of music with that fun energy in it it'll take her a long way, and hopefully she kind of sticks with that style and genre, at least for the first little bit, until she gets a little bit older and kind of her voice continues to grow and get better. And but and it was a perfect way to end the night with the way she was just absolutely crushed, Confident by Demi Lovato. I mean, not an easy song to sing at all. Demi, one of the best voices in the world right now. Love and good energy and prayers sent out to her, as well as as she's been continuing her recovery in 2018. So it's but not an easy song to sing, but Kennedy absolutely crushed that, and just couldn't have a better coach for her and Jennifer Hudson. I mean, it's Jennifer's the perfect type of voice and perfect type of person to be able to help mold Kennedy's voice and kind of move her forward with that. So it's and they definitely clicked together. Their performance on the finale was just you could tell you could see that was the big reason why they were a great choice to be together. But she could be the dark horse that swoops in and steals it and ends up in the final two and knocks somebody out. Knocks out either Kirk or Chevelle, that I think, and ends up there. I don't want to say that I think Chris is is not going to be there. I just think that I just gotta go out and say I think that Chevelle and Kirk really separated themselves, but I think Kennedy could swoop in there, and Chris too. I mean, with him being a dual threat, he's got two different rods out there, trying to reel in fans. So it's gonna be a great night. The voice finale is always a great night of not just waiting to see who's gonna win, but all the performances of all the artists that come in to perform, and then we always get one performance with the one of the singers and an artist coming in. So I can't wait to see who's gonna all the performances, and voice finale is one of my favorite nights of TV of the year. It gives me so much positivity and good energy, so I can't wait for tonight. We got a great set of 4 finalists. We had a great night last night, so it's just I can't wait. But that brings me to the end. It talks about all the contestants, all 4 finalists, and we are ready to go. Excuse me. As always, I can't wait to see all the performances, but the biggest thing is who is going to be the voice for season 15. If I had to choose, I'd say it's Kirk. It's going to be Kirk J, but any of the 4 finalists has a chance to win it. Any of the singers that were on the show this season had a chance. It's just I just love this show so much, and I really hope that it continues to move forward for years and years and years and years. And it's I haven't heard the coaches announced yet for next season. So I'm but hopefully if I'd be more than happy to watch these 4 do it again. But I know it's a big time commitment, so probably not going to happen. But I'm excited. I'm always excited to see what new coaches will be that will be coming to the show, which coaches will be coming back to the show. So it's it's always exciting to it's just always exciting every season because you get the when you hear who the coaches are, you get it's you're looking forward to seeing the dynamic between them, and then as always how you're excited to see all the great singers that the show is going to unearth, and I'm just I just, like I say, I love this show so much, and I hope that it keeps, we keep getting seasons for years and years and years and years. Because the way the format they've created, it just doesn't get old, and it's as long as you have great singers, this is going to be a great show, and there's no shortage of great singers in the world. And as you can see, the great voices, God has given great voices to these to human beings younger and younger and younger. So I don't think there's going to be any shortage of great voices for this show to find. So I just hope the fans keep turning out for for all the episodes, because live viewership is such a huge thing for TV shows these days. Obviously I say that, and most of the time I watch the show on the elliptical the next day, but it's the voice finale, I'm always there live. But whenever I can, I watch the show live. And during the night, like I work at night, so it's kind of tough for me sometimes. Or I work during the evening, so it's kind of tough sometimes to watch. But I just it's I just really hope the fans keep supporting the show, and we all we all love music and singing, and this show brings out the best of it. So. And it's one sidebar before we go. I really hate how people throw this show into when talking negatively about reality show competitions and singing. Like The Voice, it doesn't just cookie cutter things. Look what Sarah Grace did with Amazing Grace in the style of House of the Rising Sun. Like that's gonna bring us. That doesn't bring a cookie cutter artist. That doesn't bring your typical paint by numbers pop artist or pop band or whatever. This is crafting real artists. This is allowing singers to play with songs and to do different versions, and to this is giving platforms and opportunities and exposure to so many amazing voices that sometimes they just need a little bit of help to get better. So it's like it really pisses me off when I hear people it's a famous meme that goes around with the Dave Grohl quote, and I hope that's one of those things where people are attributing a quote to someone that's not true, because I love Dave Grohl. He's one of my favorite musicians, so that'd really suck if he actually said that. But I just hope people appreciate The Voice for what it is, an absolutely great TV show, and that helps bring out the best version of singers and songs. And it's just a really that's the great thing about songs and music, is that you can have 100 different versions of one song. Like one song can produce, like 100 songs that are similar but different on their own, and inspire so much great, energy and emotion. So that's why it really sucks that the rights and the licensing for music is such a greedy, evil, disgusting money pit. That's like it really should be much more of an open sharing type of culture. I mean, people deserve to be compensated for their work, but not this over the top, ridiculous amounts that are in place now. But that's getting into I don't want to talk about all that. It's getting into a negative part. So, but that's gonna bring me to the end for today. Don't want to end it on a negative note. It is Voice finale night. It is. We had a great night last night. We have a great lineup of. I just looked at it quickly, forgot to write it down, so obviously I can't. But from what I saw, I was really excited at the lineup. So can't wait to watch it. Hope everybody has great. I hope everybody enjoys it, tunes in, and just good luck and God bless to all the singers, cast, and crew in the band, and just a big shout out and much love and God bless and all the best positive energy to the cast and crew and the unsung heroes of The Voice that bring it to us. The band, the behind the scenes crew, the stage crew that's always changing things. Everybody that doesn't get the appreciation that the singers and the coaches and Carson and everyone gets. So I appreciate every single one of you. This show would not be able to be brought to be what it is without everyone. So just so much love for it. That brings us to the end for today. I thank everyone for coming along for the ride, and we'll see you soon down the road. Much love, God bless, and Merry Christmas. Peace.